Hey, this is Dale Tinsley. You're listening to the Connect Podcast. Our purpose is to guide you to connect with yourself so that you can connect with others and live a life of meaning and value. Continuing the series, Limitless Potential, Endless Refinement. Peace be with you, and welcome back to the Connect Podcast. Hope you guys are feeling amazing today, feeling engaged in your own life, on your hero's journey, growing, processing things in real time, not allowing the traumas and issues and headaches of daily life to weigh you down. Today's topic of conversation is each one, teach one. If you've got a Connect t-shirt, on the back of some of them, it says each one, teach one. And then there's another one that says open your mind, open your heart. So I hope you do that. I hope you open your mind and open your heart daily and experience mind-heart coherence. The left brain and the right brain working together. And aren't we sponges as human beings? We absorb information. We can absorb energy, even emotion and feeling from other people. So each one, teach one. Were you given wisdom by your grandfather, your grandmother? And I'll start with the family because as sponges, that's where it really should begin. We should nurture and guide our children. And maybe that wasn't done for us. For myself, I can say no. My dad taught me kindness. And then I learned a lot of things just observing him and his day-to-day interactions as he got older in his life. And now he lives with me and I'm his caretaker. It'll be 3 years in September. And that's a whole nother episode. But each one teach one. It's on the parents, but it doesn't always happen, does it? It doesn't happen. I know definitely now it's a focus for myself to teach my daughter the nuances of life and how to be self-accountable and how to have a backbone and stand up for herself and many other things, but those are just a couple. So that segues into coachable moments and teachable moments. And they present themselves in our lives, and then that intuition hits us. Like, this is a moment to help someone. I actually had one this morning. I was in the gym, working bicep and tricep, and these two younger guys were in there. They were right next to me. And I could see the form could have been improved a little bit. And in the past, I've stepped out and helped people. And then more recently, I've just been so hyper-focused because time is limited that I just get in, do what I gotta do, and get back to life. But this morning, I had a little time, and one of the guys had his headphones off. He was talking to his buddy, and I said, "Hey man, you guys want a tip?" And I just helped them tweak their form just a little bit and their bicep curl. And I gave him actually a little bit lower weight so that he could get the form down, because when you're using proper form, you're going to use a little bit less weight. And they absorbed it, and he went through a couple reps, and he could see the difference in that it was way more challenging because the muscle maintained time under tension. He wasn't resting. He didn't come all the way down and catch that rest. He stopped about right here and then came up and stopped about here. He didn't come all the way up. So he wasn't resting anymore the way he was doing it, that I observed them, right? So I share that because that's a coachable moment. That's a teachable moment. And actually, the first thing that I told them, I said, "Hey, you guys want a tip?" I was like, it'll help you grow. That was the first thing I said, and then it unfolded like I just said. And they thanked me, and then I introduced myself, and he was a high school football player. So that's an example. That's an example. So when your intuition hits you, hey, this is a coachable moment. This is a teachable moment. And that was with some guys that I just met today. I had seen them in the gym a couple times. But when it comes to our own family or extended family, we have some responsibility in that. We need to honor our intuition. When our intuition speaks to us and says, help that person. Give them some information they don't have. Give them some insight. Give them some wisdom. Give them a nugget of wisdom that took you some suffering to learn. And in those teachable moments, in those coachable moments, we got to come from the heart. We're just sharing. And maybe the person might not want the information, because it's the coachable moments aren't always going to be in the gym or something easy. It could be a behavior that you're witnessing that's going to lead, if there's more of that, it could end in a bad way. And so the approach is always important. And if you're honoring your intuition, just speak from the heart. Just be authentic, be you. We don't need to pretend to be anyone other than ourselves. We're spirits having this human experience in these vehicles that we call our bodies. There's responsibility in each one, teach one. Because we are community, we are humanity. Doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from, or how you speak, or your level of education, or wisdom, or awareness. When you cut us open, we all bleed red. So in that thought, feeling, vibe of community, we look around at this world and we see chaos and murder and evil and fear and all these things. But we can do something about it. We can each one teach one. We can open our minds and open our hearts. Lead with love, lead with courage, lead with compassion, Have some empathy, because we've all been through the struggle, and more struggles will come. And that's a moment for us to really look at ourselves as well. And maybe you have some resentment because, well, nobody taught me. I had to figure it out the hard way. But don't you wish somebody did? We can limit someone's suffering by leaning in to these coachable and teachable moments. It's one of the Connect staples in the lifestyle. Each one teach one. No one is above us. No one is below us. We're all here to do our part in God's design. But that doesn't get fulfilled if we don't step into our authenticity, step into our intuition as it's speaking to us. And we need to act. We need to act. And it takes courage. It takes courage to become an individual. It takes courage to break free from the programming and not just do what everybody else is doing because, well, that's what we always do. It's your hero's journey. And as you become more and more and more in tune with who you are spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and you breathe, release, and let go of the things that no longer serve you, put those bags down, sort through the baggage, peel the onion, sit with it, process it, gain the wisdom from it, and let it go. And that's less baggage you have to carry around. You know, what comes to mind, I worked for this company called PSC, and there was a torch involved. So it was oil field, and it was demolition work, and it was at a yard. So I didn't, I wasn't schooled to the game of using a torch, and it was a long torch. So I had to split this pipe in half. Well, the pipe was full of all kinds of nastiness, and these sparks were going all over the place. And I didn't have all the PPE on, personal protective equipment, that I could have had on. And one of the guys saw me kind of, struggling with these sparks shooting everywhere. And so I did what I had to do, and I survived it. And I brought it up later in a meeting, and the supervisor's response was, well, I had to deal with it when I was in that role. And I just kind of shook my head. I'm like, but you see somebody that's dealing with something, and you could have gave me the information to, put this piece of leather on around my back. That would have covered my neck. But he had the mindset of watching me struggle and watching me suffer, because he had suffered and he had struggled. Hey, it takes all kinds. It takes all kinds. But that's an example. He could have limited some suffering. He could have been of service. He could have each one teach one. And it's an opportunity to build a relationship. And you never know where that could go. So many examples. I hope this conversation is sparking thought in your own life. Coachable moments, teachable moments, each one teach one. community responsibility, family responsibility, self-responsibility, self-accountability. Yeah. Each one teach one. Because wisdom that's not shared, that's a waste. That's a waste. Never know, it could change your life. One moment, one day, one relationship, one act of courage, one act of humility, one act of listening and honoring your intuition, one opportunity. Each one teach one. Hope today's conversation inspires you to self-reflect and to take advantage of these coachable moments, these shareable moments with your kids, with your friends, with your family, your community, even a complete stranger. I'd like to invite you to go to theconnection.studio. Check out the journal for Each One Teach One and all the journals for each episode will be there for the deeper dive into the content. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I hope you make the most of it. And remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. Until next time, friends. God bless. Thanks for joining us at the Connection Studio. You can support us by sharing with others and posting to social media. Keep doing the internal work, as it will truly make all the difference. God bless.